Recording? Yes, we are. Okay, so good morning. Today I am talking about Takeaway Revolution. It's a new software as a service company, and we're looking to transform the food ordering industry. Our product is a food ordering platform, very similar to Just Eat and Deliveroo. But however, we've come in from a different angle. We don't charge commission, and we're one of the only companies in the UK that offer on this basis. So it's going to go through our company, give you a little bit of information about us, and hopefully you'll find this presentation useful. Okay, so today's agenda, obviously we're going to go through Takeaway Revolution, who we are. We're looking at the competition, just to get a little bit of information on the background and how we can save you money. And it's just so that you can see what a lot of restaurants that we've spoken to, of what sort of past they've gone through, what sort of issues they come across, and the whole sort of background to us. And then we're going to go over to the benefits, what are the benefits to our clients and your customers. When you're looking at moving over to us, we're obviously going to go through the restaurant transition and the snags that you might come across. And again, this is from our current customer base, so you'll get an understanding of what they've come across when they've migrated over to Takeaway Revolution. Finally, obviously, we're going to go through the apps and the customer journey. We have got a demo website as well, that if you want to go through and just have a round look on the apps, you're more than welcome to do so. And then the Q&As if you've got any questions or answers. Okay, so who are we? We are a new startup software house based in Oldham. We have over 28 years in the industry and have worked alongside some of the UK's largest businesses. Businesses such as Brother UK, Thompson Holidays and Tiny Computers. Now, we are a software house. To be honest, this is quite a relatively new sort of area for us. However, it's an area that we've got quite a passion for. In business, we've always come into business to make IT affordable to all businesses, and to bring in the latest cutting edge technology. Obviously, we're looking to transform the food ordering industry. Obviously, as you will be aware, it's an £8.5 billion industry, which is forecasting to be up to 11 million. So again, like I said, we are providing affordable solutions for cutting costs and enabling all businesses to gain access to cutting edge technology. And the reason we say that, when we've looked at this industry and you're looking at companies such as Just Eat, companies like that, they've only got 20% of the market, and it got me wondering, well, what's such a small portion of the market? Obviously, it's a huge market, but it's still a very small section of that market. And obviously that's where Takeaway Revolution came into it, looking into that market, seeing what's gone wrong, and seeing the charging structure. And we believe strongly that it's down to the commission sort of structure that's in place that is wrong, and we're looking to right that. So the company itself, obviously Takeaway Revolution is the main company. On the Takeaway Revolution website, you'll see the merchant software, so it's all tailored to you guys. And on there, obviously, you can download our actual app for the merchants. So that's all again available for you once you subscribe on there. So obviously, following that, we've got Takeaway Heroes, which is our customer-focused website. And to the customer sort of end, that's what they will know. They know Takeaway Heroes. We separated it from Takeaway Revolution because we don't want customers stumbling across the merchant apps, and again, it's trying to keep things clean. Finally, we've got Takeaway Drivers, which is quite a new side to the business, and this is when we were looking at the current industry and seeing new companies such as Uber Eats and Deliveroo come in, offering the takeaway driver sort of side of the business. So we have introduced that. It's at very early stages, but again, we'll go through and we'll talk you through where we are and where we see that going. So looking at the story, obviously, I always like to refer to the dot-com boom. Now, when we looked at the industry, we've seen obviously history repeating itself. Obviously, back in 2000 to 2010 was the dot-com sort of bubble. Obviously, it's the event of the internet. It went out there. Lots of businesses jumped onto it, sort of as a way of increasing their customer base. However, one of the key things that they did come across was it wasn't that easy. You get onto the website, and they originally thought, yeah, you get onto the internet, and they're going to get thousands of visitors. Obviously, that bubble burst when they found, well, actually, it's not that easy because everybody else is doing the same thing. So then you're having to look at ways to make yourself look better and different. And that's, obviously the internet's evolved since then. Obviously, our two main competitors started back then, Just Eat and Hungry House. Just Eat was roughly around 2001, Hungry House in 2006. However, they weren't that prominent back then, and a lot of customers did not hear about them or understand their model at the time. See, that came in late around 2013 when they're starting to use these sort of platforms. The internet obviously expanded out, and everybody started to get more online and more in the game with the internet. Around 2017, 2018, Just Eat, obviously their only competitor, Hungry House, was out there, and they wanted to reduce the competition. So they obviously put in a bid to buy Hungry House, at which they were successful in 2018. Obviously, that allowed them to gain the market share of the market, and obviously they would have control of the pricing sort of structure. So at that rough around that time, a lot of people started to become quite unhappy with the pricing structure. They couldn't go to a competitor. There wasn't a competitor out there, and they was trying to find a way to reduce the cost. Now, obviously, the cost I'll talk to you in a moment about. Um, but obviously, at this particular time, there's a lot of other companies looking at the market and seeing that it was a little bit unsettled. So a lot of the web development market started to go approach that market and say, look, we can create websites for you. It's great. You only pay once. There's no commission. It's pretty much up and going, and you can get yourself online. So, in theory, it sounded great. Just Eat had got a website. Just Eat was bringing in business, and yeah, it sounds like a great thing. But then, when you look at the whole story, it's the dot-com bubble. It all came through the same sort of scenario. They got a great, get a website, gone up, put a few leaflets through people's doors saying go on to our website and download our, go on, get, place your order on there and get 10% off. But then they realised it just wasn't that easy. People didn't do it. People carried on using the Just Eat app. Why? Because it's easy. It's an easy sort of interface, and they 9 out of 10 times the person didn't know what they wanted, and they went by what's on offer or what's out there. They wanted to have that selection. So that area sort of dropped. So that dot-com bubble burst, same as the first time around. And obviously that then led on, well, okay, we've tried that. What way do we go forward? Mobile apps started coming out quite a lot more prominently, and they try to tap into the market and say, right, okay, we can offer you an app which will then help you to simulate what Just Eat does, and helps you to then bring customers in that way, and we don't charge commission. Same story. A lot of restaurants jumped to it again, and they went into this third sort of .com and realised that they still couldn't get customers to it. Obviously, in theory, now you've got a website and you've got an app. You've got the same as what Just Eat does. Doesn't work. You're just not getting anywhere. You have to put a lot of advertising behind it. It just didn't work, and the whole concept of customers just downloading multiple apps wasn't something that customers want to do. They're quite happy with the Just Eat, the one single app. And when you look at it, it's almost like when you look at compare the market. Well, why were they successful? Because it's just one app. You can go put your details, what you want, and you got your answer. You didn't have to go manually searching through thousands of restaurants or thousands of insurance brokers in their case. They could just put their details in once and they can find what they wanted. Very easy, very straightforward. So the concept works. But again, that was the last .com bubble which burst again. So just to get an understanding of where Just Eat was, obviously when they came in, we're looking at a commission of 14% plus 50p plus VAT. So on a typical £10 order, you're looking at £1.90 plus VAT. So you're looking around roughly around 2.28. Obviously there's setup cost as well, and then there's a customer fee. So if you're looking at your standard £2,000 a week take-ins, you're looking to spend roughly 1,500 a month using the Just Eat platform, which can be, it's quite a hefty chunk out of your salary, out of your profits. And what shocked me is when you looked at the what you're paying annually for this service, and all you're paying for is a website or an app. It's absolutely extortionate. And 17,000 is like, what could you employ somebody at 17,000? 9 out of 10 times you'd say no. Well, why would I want to employ somebody when I can get somebody on part-time basis? See, I don't have to pay as much for, or on ad hoc when I need them. So obviously that's what caused that initial .com bubble. People were thinking, right, I'm not happy with Just Eat. Now, just to get an understanding, obviously, Just Eat, why do restaurants use them? Because it works. Basically, they come in and they say, yes, we can increase your sales by 30%, and 9 out of 10 times they do. Well, how? Obviously, using the customers using the app, the convenience and the choice, and the ability to discover restaurants that are not used before. And I've been guilty of that. I've been travelling up and down the country. I'll just pull out the Just Eat app and I'll look at the ratings of a restaurant, and I can get a pretty good idea of a good restaurant that's near me that I can order food from. So when you're looking at the trust and the advertising and the competition, it straight away Just Eat deals with it from my end, and from your end as well. Obviously there's trust, that everything's in place for them. So obviously on your side, obviously the ease, it's very easy platform, and you just receive the orders. They do the processing, you receive an order, you accept the order, you process that order, and it's just nice simple interface. So the platform does work. It's just the price what they're charging for doesn't. Anyway, later on during obviously coming around 2018, 2019, two new competitors started to approach the market. They looked at the market same as what we've done, see something's not quite right, looking at it from a slightly different angle, and they can see that, well, hang on, there's Just Eat have got 20% of the market. Why have they only got 20%? Well, one of the reasons they come across was because a lot of restaurants don't have their own takeaway drivers. They rely on customers going to that particular venue. So basically, with the companies that have come in, they offered the angle of covering this, to be able to provide drivers on behalf of the restaurants. So it allowed obviously more restaurants to start using these sort of platforms, and it was another great platform. It resolved that particular issue. However, there was a cost behind it. As you can see here with Deliveroo and Uber Eats, you're looking at roughly around 30% plus VAT. So on that £10 order, it's gone up to £3 plus VAT. £3.60 for one order. Absolutely horrendous. And then obviously you got the setup fee. Setup fee you can deal with, that's fine. But when you're looking on your typical spend being 2,500 a month for a software platform, yes, they do the delivery, but at the end of the day, there's a massive cost there. But it's not just from your side; it's from the customer element. I mean, I ordered from Uber Eats the other day. It's not a platform I've used before, but they offered me £15 off. So I thought, yeah, I'll go off and order off that. Went through, got to the end, and there's £8 fees for me for my order, and I was like, absolutely shocking. Straight away, I'm like, I'm not going to be using that. So it's a platform that I won't be using again, and I'm sure a lot of other customers will be saying the same thing because it's horrendous the amount of charges that they'll add on top of that food. Yes, you need it delivered, but there's a cost. When you're looking at Just Eat and you're looking at £2, £3 delivery, you can deal with that, or £4, or maybe just coming under five. But going up to £8 is when I suddenly thought, no, it's not the one for me. Anyway, when you're looking over the yearly, again, looking from your angle, and looking at 37,000 per annum for a software package, straight away it got us questioning. And again, it's got other people questioning. When we looked at the market, we've seen another new vendor come onto the market, which is Local Eats. Local Eats is a brand new franchise. They deal with obviously individual areas. So you've got your Blackpool Eats, you've got Lancaster Eats, you've got Morecambe Eats, you've got Leyland Eats, you've got Ashton Eats, you've got Oldham Eats. As every town is starting to get their own version of this software. Now, this obviously is a franchise. They're based up in Cumbria, and each franchise that comes in, obviously, they have a £5,000 fee. They come in, and on average, each of these venues are getting 20 to 30 restaurants to sign up on inception. And how are they doing that? By reducing that commission down. So they've looked at the market. I can see the commission has caused a problem. They can understand why people are begrudged to pay out for Just Eat. So they've looked to reduce it. Great, 7.5% plus VAT, which then brings your typical £10 order down to 75p plus VAT. 90p with VAT, depends if you're VAT registered or not, which, that's a lot more doable. £650 a year of typical spend. That's feasible for most companies to go for. Setup fee, 150, 180 including VAT. And then the customer gets obviously fees as well for the delivery and service charges that they charge. So you can see that really makes a big difference to the industry, and you can understand why a lot of people will do it, jumping onto it. But at the same time, it's still a cost. There's still quite a lot of money for processing orders, and if you processing more than £2,000 a week, you could be, if you're on 4,000, you're looking at doubling that. So then you start getting into the realms of £1,500. It becomes a lot more expensive at that point. You kind of think, well, yeah, it's a better solution, but it's not quite there. Obviously, the biggest downfall to Local Eats is obviously, as somebody who's going to set up one of these, it's £5,000, so it's a massive outlay for these individual sort of outlets, and they lose 5% of that to to the franchisor. So basically, they're charging you 7.5%. They come in saying we're a local, we're providing everything local, and the money stays locally. However, 5% of that goes up to Cumbria. So it doesn't seem to me that they're keeping it local. So although they're saying it's a local and there's a local company and it's for the benefit of local, it's not. It's not completely true. Then obviously one of the other things is if you go for a Local Eats, then yeah, you're going to reduce your cost, but then you're restricted to your area. So your Oldham Eats, if you're based in Oldham as we are, and if we had a restaurant and we was on the border of Oldham and we're on Failsworth and Ashton under Lyne, all of a sudden we'd have to pay for 3 apps to be able to get our customer base. Maybe 4 apps, because each of these apps don't talk to each other. They're single individual apps, and they only deal with that one area. And again, for a customer front, if I was in Oldham and I've signed, I live in Oldham and I signed up for Oldham, but I was in Ashton for the day trying to find something, I'd have to download the Ashton app and go and order off there. I mean, set up all the messing about, registering my card, absolute nightmare. It doesn't work. Platform doesn't handle deliveries, so again, it's flawed in a lot of the different ways. It's great sort of incentive of reducing your cost, but in the long run, you're not actually reducing your cost. Yeah, you might be looking at 7.5%. That's £650 a year. But then, if you think you have to register onto 2 or 3 different areas, the cost has gone up, and it's actually cost you more than what Just Eat does. So you've got to look at it from both different angles. Obviously, this is where we come in. Obviously, Takeaway Heroes. This is our company, and this is the customer front end, like I mentioned to you. So we don't charge commission. So your typical £10 order doesn't cost you a penny. Its setup fee, we ask for £150 for the setup, which is for your standard sort of setup that gets you online, gets your listing on there, we build your menu in that price. Or if you have, but obviously with that you need to put your own hardware on there. If you need us to provide the hardware, then it's £299, and that's where we provide the hardware device which allows you to print and receive your orders. And our device is very much similar to Deliveroo. So if you have got a Deliveroo device, you could possibly use that and save yourself some money on the setup fee. On the customer end, obviously, it's even good from that end because we don't charge a customer. If you want to charge a customer for a delivery or for a service charge, that's up to you, but we do not make any charges. That money comes straight to you. When we set up your account, it goes straight to you as Stripe, which is our main payment gateway. So we help you set up your Stripe account. That's linked to your bank account. Within 3 days, you get your payment. So it's a nice, straightforward sort of process on there. So where do we make money? Obviously, we charge a monthly subscription fee, depending on your package. So obviously, like I said, there's no commission, which means that you only pay for your chosen package. So that's a choice of a standard package of £50, which gets you on Takeaway Heroes, or £100. Now that gives you your package of Takeaway Heroes, plus you get your own mobile app. So if you're looking to have your own mobile app as well, or playing around with that idea, we can offer you that for £100 per month. And that means that we build you an app which gets uploaded to the App Store and the Google Play Store, as well as being listed on Takeaway Hero. So you get the best of both worlds. Our technology obviously is better. It gives you back control. So you've got control of your order. So for instance, if you're in your restaurant and you're on a quiet period, you can post a promotion on our website, which say, right, I'm going to get 10% off. Straight away, that will help you bring new customers in. So your quiet time you can actually utilise and become busy times. And the same as if it gets too busy, you can remove that offer off the website, and then obviously you get less people coming through to your doors. So it gives you that more control. And again, if you want to try a new line of food, the app will allow you to do that. You can just add a new line of food, or if you want to do price changes or whatever it is, it gives you back control. Another nice facility that we've just added on there is the ability to receive orders in your own language. So if you're Chinese or Indian and Chinese or Indian takeaway, and you want to receive the order in your chosen language rather than being in English, then the app will allow you to do that. We can set that up with any languages in there, and if you want to receive it in your chosen language, where the app will allow you to do that. So if you're paying for a translator with Just Eat or any of the other apps to translate all the orders as they come in, you don't need that because our app will do that for you. Obviously, you've got the ability for restaurants to offer discounts to customers without affecting the bottom line. So again, it's the discounts that I mentioned to you. All the money, obviously, what you make stays within the outlet. So when you're looking at local eats and they're saying it stays in the area, it doesn't. But ours does, because we only charge a low monthly fee, which means that your profits stay in your area, which means that you can expand your business, you can employ new staff, it gives you that money back to be able to move your business forward. And then obviously our app gives you a better ability to track, so your customers can track the orders. If you've got delivery staff, you can track those. It gives you that ability to track the whole process. And finally, obviously, there's no nasty service charge to your customers. We've just created a brand new savings calculator. If you go to takeawayrevolution.co.uk/savings calculator, you can see how much money you can save by using our platform. But again, when you're looking at any provider, if you're looking at we charge £50 to £100, depends on which package you choose, and that's it per month. Very straightforward. So you're looking at £650 for a year. Again, that's a lot lower than any of the other providers out there. But again, if you want to compare your sort of revenue, or your weekly revenue, and see how much you can save, then go to that website. So obviously, if you're thinking about going through us, obviously the key things that go through a lot of our customers' sort of minds are various different issues that you'll come across. And again, I just want to go through these purely because customers, what I've spoken to, they've all used these sort of methods to better resolve these sort of issues. So the first one, obviously, whether this affects you or not, I don't know, but is I've already paid for Just Eat or Deliveroo, and I've tied in for a year, or you've got various different contracts. One thing you've got to look at is, yes, you might be tied into a contract, but you're not tied into how much you sell or what you sell. You're tied in for a contract to pay a commission on what they sell. Okay, so some restaurants have looked at it and thought, right, okay, I'm going to reduce what I sell on that platform. I'm going to reduce my offers on that platform and bring that over to Takeaway Revolution. So one of the companies quite close to us, they decided just to sell their milkshakes, which was never a massive sale for them, and a lot of people won't pay for a milkshake to be delivered. So they reduced it down to the milkshakes, which then meant that they can move the rest of their product lines over to us. They then reduced their commission from Just Eat, and it allowed them to move over seamlessly over to us. So have a look. Again, if you need to speak to us, by all means, just let us know. We do have area managers around as well, and they can go through this with you. How do I get customers to use your platform? Obviously, if you've been down the route and you've gone through the .com bubbles that I mentioned earlier, where you've got your own website, or you've got your own app, or you've got a bit of a mixture of different systems, you probably find a lot of the time, that they didn't actually generate and they've just been dead in the water. Obviously, our platform is just like Just Eat. It works. It's a platform that works really well with the customers. But obviously there is a way of moving customers over. Obviously your customers will be used to finding you on Just Eat and any other platform. So like I said earlier, one of the ways that our customers have done that is to remove the offers from the other providers, and then look at to transfer the savings that they get from Takeaway Revolution and to pass it on to the customer. Now that doesn't have to be long term. That is a short-term strategy to help you move customers over. So if you offer your customers the savings that you're potentially making, that is one way. And again, we've got our own marketing team that can help build that and to build customers and bring customers over to the platform. If you're running a promotion and you're offering 20% or 25% or whatever you're offering, we can help you on our marketing side to be able to build that awareness and help customers move over. We also run obviously weekly competitions to win free meals on us. So again, if customers, once they place an order on our website, each order is a ticket to the competition, and obviously that gets drawn at the end of the week where they potentially win a free meal, or depends on the area and how many customers we got, how many restaurants we've got in that area. We might better offer bigger prizes on there. So that works really well, and our model goes off what local eats. So that's one of the ways that they've tried to bring customers over, and they've been very successful at doing that. So we're taken some of that to help us to be able to move our own marketing strategy, but we've obviously added the extra thing of building the commissions in there. So what's the catch? Obviously, there is no catch. That straight away, it's one of the common questions that we get. A lot of time you've got into various different contracts because they've been missold, they haven't been completely honest with you, or they've got hidden fees, and you might have been offered a heavily discounted rate, only to find at the end you got a massive bill at the end of it. Takeaway Heroes is none of that. Takeaway Revolution, we don't do that. There's no hidden cost. What you pay is what you see is what you pay. If you're paying £50 a month, that's all you pay. Obviously, if you decide to promote your listing internally on the app to get your sponsored sort of listings, or if you go for SMSs, then there obviously are additional charges for that. But again, you're not going to get it unless you specifically want that functionality. Do we offer delivery service? Now, obviously, as I mentioned to you before, we've got the Takeaway Drivers app. That's fully up and running. It works. However, we are concentrating as a business on getting restaurants over to our platform and saving money. That's our key aim. This first part of the business is to help you save thousands. I think, by concentrating on that, it just helps all our customers to start saving. And helps the transition. So as a business, we're looking to help and move that forward and help you to save that money. However, obviously the apps are there. If you have got your own delivery people, then you're more than welcome. The apps are free and you can download them, and we can help you move your takeaway service over to our apps, which again gives a more customer seamless sort of thing. But later on down the line, yes, we are looking to bring in a delivery service, and it will be run pretty much almost like the Deliveroo and Uber Eats. However, without all the commission still. So again, we're looking at a better sort of model on that. But right now, we just need to concentrate on bringing this service out to you guys to save that money. So obviously I talked about there's apps. There's 3 apps in total. We've got the merchant app, which is Takeaway Revolution. We've got Takeaway Heroes, which is a customer app, and we've got Takeaway Drivers, which is a driver app. Takeaway Revolution, obviously, that's an individual website, takeawayrevolution.co.uk. Go to that. That allows you to download the merchant apps and sign up for the merchant account. Takeaway Heroes, again, that's a separate site. So it's takeawayheroes.co.uk. That gives you the customer app and also the same service as Just Eat, so that's for the customer sort of side. And then obviously Takeaway Drivers, we've got takeawaydrivers.co.uk, brand new site that we're just working on at the moment. Like I said, the apps are all fully working, but however we're still working on obviously the website and getting that up and going on there. So I'm just going to give you a demonstration of how this works. So I'm just going to minimize this, and I can then just bring up the mobile app. Just bear with me. And what we're going to do is just going to go through how this all works. Okay. What I'm going to do is just give you a demonstration of how all the apps work together. Okay, so let's just see if I can make that a bit bigger. Right, so this is obviously we've got our 3 apps that we mentioned to you before. We've got Takeaway Heroes, we've got Takeaway Revolution, and we've got Takeaway Drivers down here. So if we go through the typical customer sort of journey, so we go for Takeaway Heroes, load up that. Okay, and we've got a demo kebab house which I'm going to use for the demonstration today. We go on there, you can see this is the interface what they've got, and obviously the products that we've got inside there. On top here we've got obviously different menus up here. If we go into here, we've got the garlic bread, and again we build these menus, so depending on what your sort of setup and what you want, we can build these up, and if there's different menu options we can add those in there. So add to cart. If I go back, I'll go to a burger, to there, and you can see here you can really refine it down to what you want and charge. Like we've got here an extra 20p for cheese here. Add to cart. So the interface is very much, you see, very much like the Just Eat sort of interface. We've added this new option here for no contact delivery with COVID and everything else. Options down here for delivery or for pickup, and then their delivery time. So they've got a specific time they can set that, or they've got this typical as soon as possible. Delivery address, apply that. Now on this particular, when I go to place order, this particular restaurant is cash on delivery. So go there and pay. Straight away you can see the merchant apps now come up here. Merchant app, add a new order in. If you've got a printer, it'll automatically print that out. If you've got a Bluetooth printer, as the order comes in, you'll get it'll print out for you, or you can do a manual print afterwards. Any Bluetooth printer you can connect to, very straightforward, but you get notification when an order comes in. So it's a live notification. All your notifications are on this screen, but your actual orders, so you're looking at pretty much this screens for your orders. So you've got an incoming order here. If I accept that, I can give a time. So these are preset. You can set any times in there. I'll just give it a wide range here, so I'm going to go for 60 minutes. And straight away you can see the customer's been updated. So the customer's got this tracer here. This is the customer app again. They've got the ability to text you over this side, and they've got the ability to call you over that side. Depends on, the controls are there, but the customer's got notified straight away from me clicking that button that I've got 59 minutes. Now you've got to bear in mind all the apps are on this phone, so it's going to be switching from screen to screen. So now I've accepted that. Obviously it's gone from incoming, it's no longer incoming, we're into the kitchen. Kitchen is outgoing. Okay, so we've got on the same thing on there, so we've got the time there, 59 minutes left. If we need to delay that, we can delay that, and we can again notify the customer of that delay. If we need to change the status, we can do. So it's all pretty much in that control. And again, say we're getting towards the end. Okay, we're ready to go now. Let's go for assign driver. And you can assign it to the driver. Now, one thing I didn't do on here is I need to just sign in on that side. Okay, because what it's told me is that my driver's not online at the moment, because you can see it's grey there. So I've just signed in. That will go green shortly. Let's assign it over to them. So order's been assigned over to Mark Pedley, and now that's ready. So we've got to that sort of stage. We can now push that over to them. Food is done, confirm. Straight away, you can see the driver's now got notified. So wherever they are, they'll get the notification. And again, there we go, we need to pick up that order. We've got a new task. Let's load it up, because I've just literally set that. Okay, so order's been accepted. So basically the restaurant's just been notified that the order's been accepted by the driver. So we know it's going to be on the way. If I look at the customer app, we can see here our delivery executive is on its way, and it's estimated 6 minutes 22 until it's delivered. So based on location, it looks at the location to work out how long. When the driver starts, they click on start. Okay, and now again the merchant's got notified that the driver started now, so I can remove that. I'm quite happy with that. Again, notifications don't have to be on like this. We've enabled it for all of the things. Let's go back to there. You can see from the merchant side, it's gone from the kitchen, it's gone from the business down to the driver. We can arrive now, and then again the restaurant's been updated. So we've got there. We need to have proof. You probably have heard a lot of stories of delivery drivers suddenly going off with the food or whatever. We've put in measures to better help that. Obviously, with COVID, you're not really better get signatures at the moment. But once this is over, you'll be getting that. Other than that, you can just take a photo. So again, it just allows you take a photo, attach. So a lot of the drivers now have been just taking the photo of the door. So if it ever gets questioned, it's down on there and there's proof. Successful. So again, the merchant's been told it's successful. There we go. So we know that's been successful. We're happy it's been done. From the customer end, look at the customer over here. And there we go, tick. And there we go, we can now leave a review on there. Submit. I didn't do one from yesterday. Good. Customer's order's been done. You can see it's done successful on there. But that's pretty much the order process. You can see it's very straightforward. The apps are there, individual apps, and again, down to your thing. But that's the demonstration of how that works. I'm just going to go back from now. Cancel that. Let's close that off. Okay. Right. So that's pretty much it. That's everything there. If you've got any questions, obviously let us know. I hope you enjoyed that presentation. If you feel that we could do anything to improve, or you've got any suggestions, or you just want to get in touch, find out how we can make a difference for you, then just contact us. Go to our website www.takeawayrevolution.co.uk. Okay, thank you very much for your time.